Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining me this week for the expert question of the week. Thank you so much for everyone who submitted questions. I really enjoyed reading them, and I look forward to answering many more. This first week's question has to do with the alkaline diet. So the question that was submitted is here on your screen, and I wanted to provide you a little bit more information about what the alkaline diet is, and then we'll go into breaking it down a little bit more and discussing, does it make sense to follow something like this? So the alkaline diet is based on the premise that the foods that we eat either break down into something acidic or something alkaline. And why that matters is the microenvironment. So the very, very, very small environment around tumor cells, it's an acidic environment. So the thought process is if we make that environment as hostile as possible, meaning we don't want to make an acidic environment in the body, and we make it more alkaline, that will help stop, slow, reduce tumor growth, okay? As we dig into this diet a little bit more, we'll find out that that's just not the case. So let's get started. First off, as I was looking through lists of foods, so there's a lot of books and a lot of literature, so-called, out there about what an alkaline diet looks like in practice. And I found there was a lot of discrepancies. So there were lists of foods that didn't exactly agree with one another. So that's not very helpful. Now, if you're looking for a list of foods and you come across 2 to 3 different lists and some of the foods aren't quite matching up, how much extra confusion does that add? But let's look at the general idea behind the foods that are supposed to be helpful with the alkaline diet and the foods that are not. So most of the foods that are allowed are fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and some herbal teas. Again, this is one of those parts of the diet that in some areas it wasn't allowed at all. Other areas it said herbal tea's fine. So who knows, right? But when we look at the foods that are not allowed, we see a decent amount of foods. Foods that, day to day, most of us tend to eat and enjoy as part of a varied diet. So fish, eggs, meat, beans, which also includes lentils, pulses, things like that, the dairy, grains, sugar. Okay. So when we look at these lists of foods, in some cases, this looks like an okay thing to follow, right? Why wouldn't we want to eat more fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds? However, we want to honor and respect the place your body's in right now. So if you're going through treatment, you've gone through treatment, and your body's just not up to digesting certain foods or certain amounts of foods, some of these foods may just not work well for you. So what do you do in that case? But let's dive into the science here. It's all based on pH. So the acid versus alkaline content of your body. And so the idea is the foods that we eat, back on that list, will either turn into an acidic environment in your body or an alkaline environment in your body. A lot of people will use test strips for the urine to actually measure that. So that's not a great way of testing what actually matters with pH, which is your blood pH. And thankfully, our bodies try to keep that within a nice, fine range to help keep us alive, really. If what we ate changed dramatically our blood pH, we would all have been in trouble long ago. So the urine pH, respiration, the output of what we breathe as far as metabolic waste in our breath, that helps keep your blood pH in the balance that it needs to be in. Plus, the blood pH is by far more correlated or linked to that cell environment. But that being said, we still can't change that acidic microenvironment around the cells in the body. Certainly not by what we eat at all. Like, there is no science behind that thought process whatsoever. So is this diet even helpful? No, in my opinion, it's not. While some of the do foods, so some of the foods that you would eat on this diet, I absolutely agree. Those are great foods to include into a varied diet. But those are not the only foods that should be on your plate. Back to supporting your body where it's at, the best diet for you is the one that fits with your here and now body's needs. Right now, what's going on in your body? What sort of foods do you need to consume to support your body at its best? And it may not be loads of plant and veg. It may not be there. You may need to focus a little bit more on easy to digest and easy to get down protein foods from fish, from eggs, from other sources. You know, we have a wide body of research. Again, this is all link and correlation-based research, but we have a lot of information that using grains, pulses, lentils, things like that, those can be very supportive in your diet for long health. So those foods are discounted on this plan. That's definitely why I have a big problem with this. The lack of variety. We're limiting foods that add variety and can support your overall health. Back to the best diet. There is no best diet for everyone. There is a best way of eating for you. And that may look different from someone else. But the idea is we want to support your body as it is. We want to support the foods that you eat that align with your values and support your body as much as possible. So I hope this first answer was helpful. And I really look forward to talking with you soon. Bye for now.